Welcome to Beyond the Spread. I am Bryce Badarius. We got sports to talk about. That's all we're doing. I'd be remiss if I don't start out this way. Shout out Rory McIlroy, winning the Masters, career Grand Slam. Shout out Rory. Shout out the man. Whether you like him or hate him, it was cool to see. It was really cool to see. I lean towards the like side. You can be in the middle if you want to, but I lean towards the like side. I'm not going to say I'm in love with him. I'm not going to say he's my favorite golfer on tour right now, any of that kind of stuff. But to choke and then not choke and then choke again and then go into a playoff hole and then win it with a birdie with a hell of a wedge shot from 120 out, 140. Hell of a wedge shot. Played off the hill, comes down. He puts it in, he gets it to 2 feet. Justin Rose has a chance to put birdie in. He's about 20 feet away. And you just see Rory. Justin Rose misses it. He steps up, looks at it, and just pure emotion. Just absolute pure emotion. I mean, if you're a hater, you still have. I think there's that still part of you that's like, oh, this is really cool. We'll probably never see a career Grand Slam again. Like, realistically, we will probably never see one. I have it up. Schefter tweeted this. I mean, Schefter does it all. Today's victory at the Masters, Rory McIlroy now becomes the 6th all-time Grand Slam winner. He joins Gene Sarazen in 1935, Ben Hogan in 1953, Gary Player 1965, of course Jack Nicklaus in 1966, and Tiger Woods in 2000. That's it. That's the list of career Grand Slams. There's not people left and right winning these. I guess I'm not a historian of golf. I should have been, more tuned in, I guess. But I don't think we'll see it again in our lifetime. We'll never see a career, at least maybe like when I'm 27, I had to think about that. I'm 27. If I see another career Grand Slam, it'll be the next generation of golfers. It's not going to be this generation unless someone just goes on a fucking hot streak. Scotty's got a good chance, I guess. But other than that, I mean, maybe Brooks. But to win the Masters, to complete the Grand Slam, you feel for the guy. It's a monkey off the back. I think Jim Nantz said it, like, after he hit the putt, that is relief off the shoulders. Maybe he's going to go on a hot streak. Maybe he's going to start winning majors left and right now. Now that he's checked them all off, the pressure's off to play, perfection golf where you have to go out and win every major. No, you've already won every major and you have a career Grand Slam. So shout out Rory. I mean, it was incredibly impressive. I was pulling for him at the end. In the beginning, Saturday he's playing out of his mind. Eagle here, birdie there. And then you look over at your friends and you're like, hey, they got money on Rory, and I tell him, like, he's probably going to choke at some point. That's just who he is in his nature. We're all like that. I mean, to be honest, we all fucking choke at some point. Pause. But he came back. I mean, it's a hell of a story. If you really think about it, it is it's a hell of a story. Career Grand Slam. He was dialed in all day. He was paired up with Bryson, which, if I'm being honest, I think I was pulling more Bryson than Rory. But when you see Bryson put it in the water, I forgot what hole it was, but when you see him put it in the water, it's like, all right, he's done. He's gonna have to play literally out of his mind the rest of the round and still try to catch up to Rory, which Rory fluctuated from. I mean, he lost the lead at after he double bogeyed the first hole. Bryson ties the lead on the second hole. Then he goes down. Then he goes back to 14 under. And it's like, where is this coming from? And you see Justin Rose just climb to the top. Bryson puts in the water. Yeah, not a good day for Bryson. I think he'll eventually get one just because it feels like he's so close sometimes at these kind of, especially at the Masters. It feels like he's right there. And I think eventually he'll get one. I think Scotty will probably get a couple more. You think Brooks would probably get another one. I like Abe Oberg, who choked on 18. He put in the bunker, then put another one, the same shot right into the front of the bunker. He finished with a quad or an 8. I don't know if 18 is a par 4 or par 5. That's my fault. If you're a golf fan, that's 8 right here. It's a hand up. I don't know if it's a par 4 or par 5. I think it's a 4. Um, I'm 99% sure it's a 4, so fuck you, actually. But I mean, Bryson and Rory apparently didn't talk the entire day. Bryson said that after the Masters, he does an interview. Interviewer asks him, "Hey, did you try to talk to Rory? Did you guys initiate conversation?" He goes, "No, he didn't talk to me all day." Now, I think that's I think that's majority of Rory just being locked in, wanting to win a fucking green jacket, just like Bryson probably wanted to do. You could look at it and be like, it might be PGA versus Liv kind of thing. You know, Rory's been the front runner, all that, even though he's backed off his stance a little bit. But it might be a little bit of that. Justin Rose, 10 birdies on Sunday. I mean, if you're hitting 10 birdies at Augusta National to go win a green jacket, 10 birdies is a fucking great way to do it. Aberg on 18, almost finished second. If he gets up and down, he finishes 9 or 10 under, splits the winnings with Justin Rose. But yeah, I mean, shout out Rory. Players that have won the Masters and the Players in the same year. Rory McIlroy this year, 2025. Scotty Scheffler last year. Tiger Woods, 2001. I mean, every golf stat that you see now, like just nowadays, it's like, who has done this? Tiger has done it. Jack probably has done most of it. But everything is just like, last person to do this was Tiger Woods. So if you're in the same breath, if you're in the same conversation as Tiger Woods, you're sitting fine. You're totally fine. Yeah, was Rory under a month? Was Roy under a lot of pressure? That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and again, you see him drop his putter over his head. You see him embrace the moment like, hell yeah, he just did this. It was cool to see. It was cool to watch. And you see all the pictures that come out like right after it. I mean, everyone's got their hands in the air. Everyone's cheering. It was a credible moment. It was special. Good for Rory. Let's talk about Scotty Scheffler real quick. I had him. I had Bryson. I had Brooks, who had a terrible showing. I had Morikawa. I went 4 for 6 on my top 5, top 10 finishes, which was great, but I parlayed them all together, so Brooks really kind of fucked me there, and it was Colin, it is what it is. I can live with Colin, but Brooks not even making the cut, that's tough. That's real tough. Scotty, he started out great on Thursday, kind of followed it up with a pretty good round on Friday. Saturday just never hit the gas. It just felt like he was stuck in neutral. He wasn't hitting the shots he was normally hitting. He wasn't locked in, it felt like, as much as he was before. Yeah. I mean, good for Scotty. He played good. I mean, he got some winnings for sure, but it wasn't like, I was expecting Scotty to be right there with Justin Rose and Rory towards the end. And I would have been like, Scotty's going to win this if he's in the hunt with Rory. Just the way that's kind of those two players are, Scotty can close that thing out. Again, pressure, but I still expect Scotty to, always be towards the top in these majors. I expect him to win maybe one of these majors this year. But yeah, that's my Masters recap. Oh, and Zach Johnson. Shout out Zach Johnson. Out of nowhere, he eagles back-to-back days. He has some birdies. He starts climbing up the leaderboard, and you're like, whoa, where is Zach Johnson coming from? This dude's, 49? Something like that? And he's tearing it up. He doesn't have the power like everyone else does. I mean, not because he's old, but, he just doesn't have it in his game. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's going to outdrive me by 100 yards, but it's like, damn, Zach Johnson, go off one time, man. Go get paid. Go get that winnings. Go get that purse. Yeah, Zach Johnson, probably my winner of the Masters personally. I watched him last year. I was like, oh, this guy's, he seems like a cool guy. Watch his game a little. I was like, oh, he's just it seems like he's a normal dude that just really, really fucking good at golf. I think Zach Johnson he's probably incredible. Obviously, you want to win the tournament, but it's like, come on, you played this course, I think they said 20 times, 22 times is his 22nd Masters or something like that. 35 rounds, some stupid number where he knows the course like the back of his hand. He's played it that many times. It's like, oh, okay, this might be the best finish he's ever had. That's my Masters recap. Again, shout out Rory. Appreciate it if you can. if you're a true hater, try to dig real deep down and be like, this is kind of a cool moment for Rory. Career Grand Slam, 6th to ever do it. Again, not a golf aficionado or a historian. I thought it'd be a longer list of players that have completed a Grand Slam. But hey, I was wrong. Bryson just put in the water a couple times. Is what it is. Let's transition a little bit. There's playoff basketball, but I want to talk about Tennessee right now. That's what I want to talk about. Nico Umalave out at Tennessee. The reports came out yesterday, day before, something like that. A few days ago, maybe even then. Apparently his dad is his agent, and he's trying to get his son paid. Not that that's wrong. I'm for it. You're playing in SEC country. You're probably going to compete for a national championship. I get it. Go get him paid. Let's think a little bit long term here, though. Your son, Nico, is projected to be a fucking prodigy. He's supposed to be a first rounder, maybe a top 5 pick if he produces the way that everyone thinks he's going to produce. Now, last year, he's a redshirt freshman last year. He played pretty good. Now, did he have some bad stats against the SEC? For sure. I mean, he went, 18 for 31 against Oklahoma and had 120 yards throwing or something like that, and maybe 5-6 touchdowns against the entire SEC, the schedule. So you could look at that and be like, okay, we're not going to give you the $4 million that you're asking for in an NIL deal. So Tennessee said, we're not going to blink. Literally, that's their quote. We're not going to blink. Contracts, however you want to look at it. The deal gets cut. It happened yesterday, day before. He hits the portal, all that kind of stuff. It's interesting because, look, I'm all for players getting paid. I'm all for this kind of stuff. It's super cool. It's fascinating. These fucking prodigy, not even prodigies, but these college players in SEC country, the quarterbacks especially, even linemen, tight ends, receivers, they're getting $1 million deals. But you didn't play good last year. You haven't really proved a whole lot that you're worth this $4 million. I get it. Go get paid somewhere. Someone's going to pay you the $4 million or get damn near close. But it just didn't work out. It just was not working out. Now then a rumor came out that UNC was in the mix. Good old Bill Belichick, head coach there. He's like, hey, we can enter contract negotiations, and they do. Apparently Nico and maybe his agent, the dad, his father, turned down $3.5 million to play at UNC. And they were like, give us more. And UNC was like, no, you're not going to come in here and be like, give me more money. It sounds like the dad's got a fucking gambling addiction and he's deep in the hole or something like that. I think we've all watched this quarterback where it's like, hey, he's really, really good and you can develop even more in Heupel's offense where it's air raid and he can read a defense and he can get better and better and better. Now he's just going to – I don't know what's going to happen to him. You'd think he still carries over his talent and he still is really, really good. But it's like he's going to get drafted. He's going to get millions of dollars eventually. I get trying to get it now. I get that because it's the era that we're in. Maximize every dollar, every penny that you can get out of these schools. But it's he's going to get the potential behind him is to get drafted eventually. So it's I guess – why would you not stick at Tennessee? Again, if they're throwing you hey, here's $1 million, for sure. Maybe ask for a raise, 2.5, 3. If Tennessee offered him 3 and they were no. Okay, fine. But if you're asking for 4.5, and they're no, we're not going to give you that, then it's all right, just stay, just take the deal. It sounds like there's a much larger issue at hand and it's going to ruin this guy's career maybe. Because if he goes to the portal, I mean, the teams that I have saw or read about, it's Oregon. Again, shout out Dan Lanning, too. Dan Lanning gave Josh Heupel the tip that, hey, he's getting shopped around right now. So shout out Dan Lanning. But apparently Oregon's in the mix, Ohio State, Colorado, UCLA, USC is also in the mix. So I don't know. And the reason why this guy went to Tennessee was because Tennessee gave him the most money. So it's one of those things where you can't really, you can get mad at the guy for leaving, all this kind of stuff, because he is that good. He's supposed to be this next generation of quarterbacks that's going to tear up the league. I mean, he's what, 6'6", can move and has a hell of an arm. So I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see where he ends up and how much money that school is going to give him. It'd be cool if, like, he went Ohio State. I mean, that'd be crazy if he went to Ohio State. No quarterback there. Will Howard's gone. I mean, he could transfer there. It just felt like a perfect match that, like, you wouldn't like, this is just a new generation, a new era that we're in, where these top players want the most money out of the school possible and out of these NIL donors, where they're like, hey, give us the most money and we'll stay. If not, we're going to go bounce somewhere else. It's like, okay, if you're like an average wide receiver, an average lineman, average quarterback, all that kind of stuff, like, go get paid. Like, because you might not get drafted. You might make a practice squad and you're going to make, it's fucking great money on a practice squad team, but it's like, I'm going to go make a couple mil down at SMU just to fuck around for a couple years. For sure, like, go do that. But if he wants to win a natty, I mean, why would you leave Tennessee? Tennessee's your best option. You've been dominating Alabama the last couple of years. You've had some problems in the SEC, but Josh Heupel's a hell of an offensive coordinator and a head coach. So it just doesn't make sense in my head, really. That's the college football news at the moment. Talking Tennessee, that was that. Is he going to leave the SEC? That's really the big question. It sounds like he's going to. Probably the best thing for him, just so you don't have to face Tennessee anywhere in the future at all. Big 12, Big 10, that's kind of where it's at. He's not going to – if he wants to go to the ACC, he'll just fucking dominate at Clemson if he goes there. It's just crazy how much money he's asking for. It sounds like there's a much larger – from my perspective, it sounds like there's a much larger issue at hand with the dad being his agent, and I get it. Dad, get your son paid, all that kind of stuff, but it's like, hey, man – Tennessee's offering me a really good deal. We should probably take that so I can stay and be involved in this offense, know this offense, so I don't have to learn a new one and try to get my ass out of, this thing. And again, it's a business now, so it is what it is. NBA playoffs are here. Before we get to that, we're not going to break down everything, but we're going to talk about, the matchups, all that kind of stuff, playing games, whatever. Not going to pay attention to those. We'll probably watch them and bet on them, but nevertheless. Last time we talked, Michael Malone and Booth, losing his first name, don't really give a fuck about him. He was a terrible GM, in my opinion. They were Nuggets employees. They are no longer Nuggets employees. They both got fired the day after this came out. So that was crazy. Nuggets Twitter was going crazy. Everyone was in shock. You can look at it and be like, the writing was on the wall. Like Michael Malone, that press conference that he gave like a month ago, he was like, we're going to have to show the players the film because no one watches their film. We're going to have to show them, the players, the film. So it's kind of like, okay, the rumor was that Booth and Malone didn't get along, which I kind of get because Booth is drafting these players. Michael Malone's like, they're not ready to play because we're at a championship level kind of team, and these are some young players, and we're not going to put them out there and be scrubs and get our ass kicked night in and night out. Put them in the rotation. So he's like, no, I'm not going to play them. That kind of thing was going on. Just other things that were – then you look at the owners, and they're like, did they want to pay the luxury tax? Did they want to pay that second luxury tax, which we ended up losing Bruce Brown? KCP walked last year because they didn't want to pay him. Both those guys got paid, and now they're not really Orlando is in the playoffs in the East, which is East is a joke anyway. I don't really remember where Bruce Brown's at. I know he got traded to Toronto, then Indiana. Indiana picked up his second player option, so he made $40 million like that. It was just a wild, wild day. I mean, not only as a Nuggets fan, but like even NBA was like, the NBA Twitter was going crazy. Everyone was like, what the fuck? Again, you could say the writing was on the wall. They were starting to say that Malone's message in the locker room wasn't getting through to players anymore. It's kind of like beating a dead horse when you say the same shit over and over and over again. It just becomes numb to people. So they were like, hey, let's make a change. Let's see if this gives the team a spark and all that kind of stuff. So the assistant coach is now the head coach, interim head coach at least. There was a rumor. It was just a rumor. It was tweeted out. It was like Dan Hurley, his name's in the mix. Now, I would love Dan Hurley, but again, I think he is built for college basketball. He is made in college basketball. When you get to the league and try to coach, grown-ass adults and you start yelling at them and shit like that, it just doesn't fly. Like, it just doesn't work. It's like Malone's message. It just won't stick to the wall. Like, it'll work every once in a while, but Dan Hurley is meant for NCAA basketball. He'll never come. MPJ his name started getting thrown around that ownership will never trade him because he's got the Cronkies who own the team, got ties to like Missouri basketball. So Missouri basketball and the Nuggets are really tight because ownership group and Missouri director of sports or whatever has deep ties with the Cronkies, all that kind of stuff. So who knows? I think MPJ is going to get traded this offseason. I think everyone's basically on the trade block besides Jokic, obviously. I mean, he's the best player in the league. Probably won't win MVP because he averaged a triple-double and he's top 3 in, every category there is. Voter fatigue, and I mean, don't get me wrong, SGA is having a fucking hell of a year. They've had the 1 seed locked up for 2 months now. It's crazy. Again, I think Jokic should still win it, but I want bigger and better things. I want a ring. And ownership group for the Nuggets were like, maybe this will give them the spark to go out there and have fun. Like, bro, what do you mean have fun? What do you mean have fun? I get it. I want them to have fun, but like winning is the most fun thing you can do. Winning a championship is the most fun thing you can do. Whatever. Jokic averaged a triple-double. I just want to get that off my chest. One of 3 players to do it. Russ has done it 4 times. Oscar Robertson and Jokic. So who knows? Trade block. Back to this. Everyone's on the trade block. I think Jamal's even on the trade block. It's got to be a pretty good deal for him. I think MPJ, you can get a pretty good size out of him. I think Aaron Gordon is the least likely to get traded just because him and Jokic play that 1-2 game almost just as well as Jamal Murray and him. Almost. I think Jokic and Aaron Gordon can run the pick and roll pretty well, and he's always just there to catch his oops. I mean, he's a hell of a rebounder. He can run an offense. Not as well as Jamal, obviously, but I don't know. I think Aaron Gordon's going to be here for a while. I really do. I think he's going to retire a Nugget. But yeah, NBA playoffs are set. They are in stone. Let's see. Playing game, 9-10 seed. Kings versus the Mavs. Warriors, Grizzlies, 7-8. Winner plays Warriors, Grizzlies plays Houston. Kings, Mavs plays OKC. Nuggets, Clippers, Lakers, T-Wolves. And then in the East, we got the 9-10 Chicago, Miami Heat. 7-8 Magic versus Atlanta. Magic Atlanta winner will play the Celtics, the 2nd seed. And then the winner of Chicago and Miami will play Cleveland. And we got the Pacers and the Bucks, the 4-5 Knicks. And the Pistons, shout out the Pistons, having a hell of a fucking year. I know it's the East, but still. Pistons being there looks really cool. It's fucking awesome. OKC, they have a really good chance that the favorites to win the NBA Finals. I'd love to see an OKC Cavs matchup, really, really do. Both playing really good basketball, both at the top of the pedestal right now. I think the Nuggets can make a good run. I like the T-Wolves to make a good run. Lakers are scary. I'm not if I'm the Nuggets, I'm not really looking I'm not looking past the Clippers, but I'm like, okay, who do we have next? Because honestly, name the last time the Clippers have ever done anything in the playoffs, but after, JJ Redick, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan. Sure, they got Kawhi and James Harden, who's a fucking hooper, but it's like I don't know. I think Nuggets in 5, maybe Nuggets in 6. I don't see it going 7 at all. T-Wolves Lakers is going to be a really good series because Luka and LeBron are going to have a crazy game 1, a pretty good game 2. Minnesota's going to go home though, and they're going to be like, all right, Anthony Edwards, go drop 45. Rudy Gobert have a double-double. Mike Conley have 10 assists and like 4 threes. And just play their game of basketball. Houston is very interesting to me because they are not talked about at all. They are similar to OKC like the last couple years, and even Cleveland, where they're a good team. They're a really good team, but there's just not a whole lot of not leadership, but like experience in the playoffs, that kind of thing. They're not battle tested. They don't have those scars yet. Where OKC last year, the year before, they have the scars now. They know what it is to get there. They know how to get through the playoffs. They know how to fucking battle back, all that kind of stuff. Cleveland, again, I think Cleveland is really good. I don't know. I'm not sold on Cleveland. Again, I think it'd be cool to see an OKC Cleveland matchup, but I still think it's Boston's to lose at this point. I don't see the Knicks doing much. Maybe Pistons. I could see the Pistons winning that series in 7. Bucks Pacers, kind of meh. I mean, no Damian Lillard anymore. Is Giannis just gonna have to carry that team? First glance, I like the Pacers in 6. But yeah, I don't know. NBA playoffs are here though. It's great to see because I was getting tired of that regular season. I was getting tired of watching these games, just being like, all right, like this really doesn't matter. Like the West last weekend, it mattered, but like the East has been locked up for like 2 months now. It feels like. But this last Saturday, the NBA game's going on. It's like, okay, the Lakers won. That means this moves here. The Nuggets won. This moves here. Golden State lost in overtime to the Clippers, so that moves them there. It was very tight coming down the stretch, just the way the Western Conference is. The East is still dog shit. I mean, there's 12 games separating each teams. I'm surprised that I don't even know. The Heat are in it or the Hawks. Like the Hawks are trash. I think the Hawks are terrible. The Heat, no Jimmy Butler anymore. It's like, okay. Like I don't want to watch Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo try to carry that team. Like I just don't want to watch that. That's NBA right there. Little UFC news. I didn't watch these fights. I woke up in the morning. It was the first thing I checked. Patty the Batty beat Michael Chandler. I like Patty the Batty. I've been on Patty Batty for a while. I thought it was going to go to decision. I wasn't expecting Patty Batty to beat the fuck out of Michael Chandler. I'm a Michael Chandler fan to a degree. Now, if him and Conor fight ever, which I don't think it ever will, I think Conor's done, I'm going to be pulling for Conor. But Patty beat the fuck out of Michael Chandler. I mean, I watched the clip when I woke up the next morning. I was like, oh my God. He cut him open on his eye. It was bad. Shout out Patty the Batty. I love Michael Chandler. I think he's a excellent performer. I think he's always going to stand in that ring with anyone bigger or try to be better than him. He's always going to put on a fucking show, get knocked out, choke someone out, knock someone out, grapple with them, box with them. He's going to do it all. But I think it's time. I think he's on that Dustin Poirier timeline where it's like, hey, you maybe got one more in you, maybe two, but it's like they got to be some big fights and you got to win at least the next one. You have to win the next one because it's, in my mind, the conversation has started where it's like, all right, Chandler, like you've won your money, you've made an impact, you've won, you want the belt, but it just doesn't seem like it's in the cards anymore. It really doesn't. Now, Patty the Batty's a fucking badass, but it just doesn't seem like it's Chandler's time anymore. He could go on a run for sure, but it's just time is dwindling very quickly. This is a big fight for Chandler to get back into like a top contender position and really push for the belt. Just doesn't feel like it. And then Volkanovski beat Diego Lopez. I wanted Volk to win, and I'm glad he did win and went to unanimous decision. Didn't watch the fight. I just saw they kind of just beat up on each other. Diego Lopez, he's a fucking badass. But Volk is still, Volk, back in the day, I mean, we're in a new generation of UFC fighters where Volkanovski, Usman, Izzy, I mean, all these guys, they were at the top of the top, and then they've just fallen for grace. It's tough to watch. It's tough to see. But you know who hasn't fallen from grace? John motherfucking Jones, baby. The GOAT. Him and Tom Aspinall, I am so excited for that fight. I think it's happening in June or July, right? Or is it November? Is it? I don't know. They're supposed to fight soon. I'm fucking pumped for that fight. It's supposed to happen sometime this year, I think. I think. Don't quote me on that, but John motherfucking Jones, baby. Shout out Rory. Nico, figure it out. NBA playoffs are here. Playing games are going. It's a great time in sports. Appreciate it while you can, because next thing you know, this will probably turn into a fucking strictly golf channel in a few months, and I might lose my mind. But do I have a shit that grinds my gears? I don't think so. I have shit that doesn't grind my gears. A good bag of chips. A good bag of chips. You ever had a Miss Vicky's bag of chips? My God, Miss Vicky's. I don't know what you do to those chips, but my God, they are delicious. I'm a huge salt and vinegar fan. You can probably see them on my finger still. Salt and vinegar. The best chip there is. The best fucking chip there is. Salt and vinegar. Miss Vicky's. The jalapeno ones are really good. Even the sea salt are really good. They have I think it's a black pepper one. Miss Vicky's doesn't miss. Miss Vicky's chips does not miss. If you see them at the store, grab them. If it's a small pack, grab them. Just trust me. Just fucking trust me. That's the shit that doesn't grind my gears. A good bag of chips. A good bag of chips. Hey, you know what? Like, comment, subscribe. Comment what bag of chips you want. Comment if you hate Rory. Comment if you don't like Rory. Comment if you think it was a really cool moment for Rory. The college football thing, we are in the dog days. I'll talk about it when we see some. But draft is around the corner. I think it's next week or the week after. So we're coming up on NFL draft. That's exciting. Football. Just some football stuff, you know? Like, comment, subscribe. Do what you got to do. Comment. I don't give a fuck. Leave a comment. Until next time.